in this lesson we are gonna add filters right here, and what this means is a user will be able to click on Laravel 5.8 and see only discussions in this channel. Okay, so kind of like filter the results by channel. Let me show you what we're gonna do. We are gonna come to the app.blade.php where we have a list of filters, and just a second, yep, there we go. So this is the list of filters. At the moment we're just displaying the filter name, but what we want to do is actually have a link. So here I'm gonna have a link. I'll display the filter name there, and this is going to submit to discussions.index where channel is equal to, and then here I'm gonna echo out channel slug. Okay, so I think in the slug table we have a slug field right there. Okay, so in the channels table we have a slug field, so we can do this. And if I refresh this page right now, let's view the page source so that you see what we have. If I scroll right down here, awesome. So you can see we have discussions where channel is equal to 58, and here where channel is equal to vue.js 3, and here Angular 7, and here Node.js. Awesome. So if I click here, you can see it goes to the same discussions page, but it adds the channel filter. So we're gonna come to the discussions controller, and then instead of returning discussions like this, we're gonna return discussion, and then I'm just gonna say filter by channels, paginate 5. And this filter by channels is gonna be a query scope. Let me show you. I'm gonna come to the discussion model, and then here I'm gonna add a public function scope filter by channels, and then in here we're gonna get an instance of the query builder or the current query builder, and then here I'm just gonna say if request query channel, then right here we're gonna filter by this channel. Okay, and then else we're just gonna return the builder. We're not just gonna modify the builder instance. Okay, now here we want to get the channel, and this is gonna be channel where the slug is request query channel, and I'm just gonna get the first right there. Okay, so I'm gonna say if channel, then return builder or query builder where channel ID is equal to channel ID. Okay, else I'm just going to return the builder. So in case the user is trying to find for a channel or trying to filter by a channel that does not exist, okay, I'm just going to return the builder and not modify it. So this is what happens. The scope filter by channels gets or checks if there's a request channel query, and if there is, it's going to find the specific channel that we're trying to filter by. And then if that channel actually exists in the database, then it's going to filter the builder. So builder where channel ID is channel ID from the channel that we got from the database, else then it's going to return the builder. Awesome. So now you can see we're using the filter right here, filter by channels or the scope. Okay, so if we come back, refresh, click on this, you can see we have no discussions. Click on this, you can see we have one discussion under the Vue.js category. Click on this one, we have one discussion right here, and click on this one, we have no discussion. So I'm just gonna log in, and now I'm just gonna add a discussion for Node.js, advanced Node.js from scratch, make this bold, and then here I'm gonna select Node.js, create discussion, and now if I select Node.js right here, you can see only the discussions for Node.js, and also know that this has pagination. Let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna add another discussion right here, advanced Node.js from scratch 2. I'm gonna add this and then select Node.js, then I'm gonna add another one 3, strike this out, select Node.js, and finally let's add another one. So I'm just gonna add 4, add some content, select Node.js, create. So now we have 4 Node.js posts or discussions. So I'm going to select Node.js right here, and now we can see 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the discussions controller and paginate by 3. And if I refresh, you can see we have 3, but then we have the pagination right there. But if I go to page 2, the pagination gets rid of the discussions, as you can see right there. So it gets rid of the channel query, just like we had when we were building our blog. So what we want to do is we want to go back to the index.blade.php for discussions, and then these links, we're going to append the channel. So append channel is going to be equal to request query, and we'll get the channel from the query. So in case there's an active query channel, then it's not going to remove it, it's going to let it be right there. Okay, so now let's refresh, get rid of all of the query params, select Node.js, and then visit page 2 for Node.js, and you can see we have channel equals Node.js and page equal to. That's just perfect, guys. This is like the most professional search query that you can ever have in your application. Okay, so if I select a different category, you can see pagination is gone. Just works perfectly. Alright, guys, one little bug I want to take care of in this application before we close it is the fact that when a user marks his reply as best reply, he receives a notification. Okay, and when a user marks a reply, or when a user creates a reply, he also receives a notification. That's not the best, right? So what we want to do is we want to come to the user model, or actually it's the discussion model. This is where the method for mark as best reply is, right? So when I say if this is the owner of the discussion, then we shouldn't mark as best reply, or we shouldn't send the notification. So we're going to say if reply owner ID is equal to this author ID. So I'm trying to know, how do we get the creator of a discussion? Awesome, it's author. So if the reply owner ID, which means the creator of the reply, is the author of the discussion, then return, just like that. Okay, and we're going to do the same check when dispatching for a newly created reply. So you can see right here, when a reply is created, we're notifying the creator of that discussion. So what I want to do here is check if discussion author ID is not equal to auth user ID, then send this notification. So this first of all checks to make sure that the discussion author is not the authenticated user, so that I cannot be sending notifications to myself, right? So let's start our queue worker, okay? And then I'm going to refresh the page, and I'm going to mark this conversation, or let me see, I'm going to add a reply. Okay, this is my reply right here. I'm going to mark it as best answer. And if you check my queue worker, no notification was dispatched because I'm the one, it's my reply. Okay, so but if I come back and then mark this one, which does not belong to me, as best reply, and you check out, you can see that the notification is being processed right there in the background. Alright guys, awesome. So this is all I have for you in this project. This has been an amazing project, and I'm definitely going to include some new functionality as time goes on. In the next lesson, I'm going to show you one last thing I want to show you, and then probably we're going to be done with